From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Friday morning. Right now you're taking a live look at the sun coming right into your living room as this view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal in Kennewick. We're actually going to see less sunshine for today as opposed to yesterday, but in spite of the uptick in clouds, will actually be a good deal warmer for today. Now for this morning, 30s and 40s for lower elevations. Also looks like 30s and 40s up in the mountains. Could be a little bit frosty down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. Already going to be into the 60s and 70s around lunchtime, and then up into the 70s and 80s at the peak of daytime heating. Will be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for May 9th. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Still dry and very warm for today and tomorrow. Much cooler with shower and thunderstorm chances going up for Mother's Day, Monday, and Tuesday. Then for Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when we'll turn very windy in the Kittitas Valley. I'll tell you just how windy coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, an arrest has been made in connection to a Kennewick drive-by shooting. We have what police found and what charges the suspect now faces.
And with wildfire season just around the corner, funding cuts and staffing shortages at the U.S. Forest Service are raising concerns for officials. Why senators say the Pacific Northwest is dangerously unprepared.
Also ahead, white smoke appeared yesterday as a new pope has been selected. And coming up, we'll see how the world as well as local leaders reacted. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It's Friday, May 9th. We've made it to the end of the week. Sounds like it's shaping
Mother's
up.
Day weekend.
Yes, to be a beautiful Mother's Day weekend.
And Josh will have more on that weather forecast later on in the show, but we do want to start off with your top stories this morning.
An update actually out of Kennewick on a shooting that happened last week near Clearwater and Fillmore.
And it was back on April 28th. Police responded to reports of a drive-by shooting, and officers found 2 shell casings and launched a large-scale search near the Clearwater Square apartments. They used drones and canine units.
Yeah, so 3 people are actually taken into custody that night, including a teen boy who was wanted for robbery out of Pasco.
And yesterday morning, Kennewick's criminal apprehension team, along with Tri-City SWAT and detectives, arrested the 16-year-old boy in connection to that shooting.
Now he has been booked on charges of first-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm.
Staying in Kennewick, where police responded to a crash that happened yesterday just after midnight. The driver, 29-year-old Keanu Ashby, is suspected of driving while under the influence of marijuana and alcohol. Witnesses say he was speeding and ran a red light before crashing into a Ford truck at the intersection of South Washington Street and West First Avenue. The driver of the truck was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and has since been released. And police tell us Ashby was not wearing a seatbelt and was also injured and taken to the hospital. He's facing DUI charges and will be booked into jail when he's released from the hospital.
Moving to Grant County now, where people of an area known as the Hiawatha Homeless Camp were served eviction notices. The Grant County Sheriff's Office, along with police from Colville Confederated Tribes, placed the notices on over 50 recreation vehicles and trailers. Now, people on the property were notified that they would face criminal trespassing charges if they didn't leave by 10 a.m. Thursday morning. Trespassing on county-owned property is prohibited, according to Grant County Code.
In Fire Watch this morning, with wildfire season just weeks away, 2 U.S. senators say the Pacific Northwest just isn't ready. Senators Patty Murray and Jeff Merkley say the federal government has cut thousands of positions from the U.S. Forest Service, with more than 500 in Washington and Oregon alone. Now, that includes many frontline firefighters, and on top of those cuts, they say a federal hiring freeze is putting this fire season at even more risk, leaving open questions about whether seasonal crews can be brought in on time.
His illegal funding freezes stopped essential wildfire preparedness and mitigation work, forced crews to furlough staff, costing us precious time to clear underbrush and thin overgrowth and reduce hazardous fuels.
State and local officials on the call echoed the urgency, saying the cuts are already being felt on the ground. And the group is calling on Congress and the Trump administration to restore funding for the agencies that help keep wildfires under control. The cuts and hiring freeze of these workers are a part of President Trump's plans to cut federal spending.
6:04 now, and taking you to Walla Walla, where We are talking about the annual Balloon Stampede. Monique was there just yesterday, kind of giving us a sneak peek of the kickoff.
That's right, and Thursday marked the 50th year for the event. But as we heard yesterday, winds were of high concern, resulting in the hot air balloons staying grounded.
Yeah, but the MC of the event says he's hopeful that today will look much brighter for those looking to either go up or to watch the show from the ground.
We are having winds in excess of 7 to 10 miles an hour. We prefer them less than that for a safe, even for tethering. And tethering is, if you can imagine trying to handle a sailboat under full sails, you're not going to do it. It's going to go where it wants. So the balloons are very, very fickle about high winds.
Now this morning, the balloons are set to take flight at Howard Tieton Park. How exciting.
Such a fun event.
I love it.
All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A new pope has been chosen, and while the world celebrates, his family and friends are still taking it all in. Coming up here, their emotional reaction to the moment their loved one stepped into history.
But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. There's more Good Morning Northwest right after the break.
Seems like everyone's going country these days. Let me show you how it's done. Yep, that Nashville Hot Sweet Heat is here on my 100% all-white meat popcorn chicken starting at $5.99. Tastes good to go country. Get so much more.
Welcome to Jack in the Box. When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Bad sleep?
The worst.
There's really no excuse for bad sleep during the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress.
Shop top brands like Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Purple, Heirloom, or save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Take up to $500 off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and score a $300 gift. Save 30% on our Doctor's Choice lineup, any size, any model. Plus, get 60 months no interest and free shipping.
The Memorial Day Super Sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to shed your worries, literally. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got the perfect shed to clear the clutter, create space, and bring peace to your life. Man cave, playhouse, done. Want something custom? We'll build it just the way you want it. And we deliver for free. Spring is here. Shed the mess, shed the stress. See dealer for special pricing. Visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds today, 3680 West Van Giesen in West Richland.
Fiction at J. Bookwalter presents the Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Live music in the best company, friends, food, and spirit at Fiction at J. Bookwalter now through October. Check our concert series lineup and times by going to bookwalterwines.com under the Shop tab or use our QR code here. The Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital and WSU.
Some people think going country is cheesy. I agree. Like deliciously cheesy. Yep, your favorite mozzarella sticks are back. Now with that Nashville Hot Sweet Heat, starting at $3.50. Get so much more under $4.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Later today, it's going to be warmer compared to yesterday in spite of there being more clouds up in the sky. But for this morning, it's still a little bit chilly out there. 31 for Cle Elum, 38 in Ellensburg, so it could be a little bit frosty up towards Cle Elum. In the Yakima Valley, temperatures spanning from 35 to 45, 35 in Yakima, 45 up the road in Sela. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, these temperatures spanning from 35 to 42, 35 for the Tri-Cities, 42 up towards the Hanford site. And then for the for the Blue Foothills will be in the mid 40s and then 30s and 40s up in some of the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, so it could be a little bit frosty down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket stuff, mostly light jacket stuff this morning after 8. And then should be t-shirt weather around lunchtime and definitely after that, as at the peak of daytime heating will be up into the 80s. So for today, we're going to end up, like I mentioned at the top of this hit, will be warmer compared to yesterday. Will be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means upper 70s in the Kittitas Valley, low to mid 80s in the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and for the Blue Foothills. We'll have a very similar forecast for tomorrow, except we'll have a little bit more in the way of clouds. That's going to be a precursor to some cooler and wetter weather starting on Mother's Day, and that's going to extend into the first half of next week. I'll tell you more about that coming up in a few minutes.
A celebrated moment from around the world. Thousands in the Vatican City watched as white smoke billowed from the Sistine Chapel, and you didn't just have to be in the Vatican City to watch it. I watched it streaming online on ABC.
That's right.
And it signaled that a new pope had been elected.
And they kept updating all the social medias with it. So it's quite a thing to see.
Yeah.
Now, the world watched history in the making, and it was the moment that was much more symbolic for his loved ones.
Yeah, can you imagine? So now this morning we are hearing from the brother of the newly elected Pope Leo following the news that changed their lives forever.
Shocking, surprising, exciting. I'm almost speechless. It's just mind-blowing that my brother was elected Pope today. And when the Cardinal came out and started to read his name, as soon as he went, I knew, he was going to say Roberto, and he did, and I just freaked out and said, it's Rob, oh my God. And I was up, dressed, out, just going nuts.
Did you see this coming?
Yes and no. Like you probably heard before, we've kind of known he was special, and we used to tease him about being Pope when he was 6 years old and stuff. And then when he became Cardinal, the rumors floating around in Rome at the time was he's like got a 1 in 3 chance of becoming Pope. It's incredible. It's awesome. It's nice to see. I just hope others, here and overseas, that it doesn't turn political because, he's an American, he's going to screw the church up. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and it just keep the nationalism out of it, and let's just be the Catholic Church.
Now, the only thing that's creating a lot of division with him being elected right now is whether he was a Cubs fan or a Sox fan. That's been a hot topic.
I just love how his brother was like, we teased him when we were little about being Pope, and look at that, full circle.
I know. I love it. They knew he was special. All right, well, after the historic election in the Vatican, local reactions, of course, began to pour in.
And Apple Valley News now spoke with the Bishop of Yakima about this election, who says he supports the decision. And with 3 out of 4 Catholics having Hispanic heritage in Yakima, the new Pope brings Latin American experience. Bishop Tyson says the deliberate name selection of Leo XIV likely indicates he wants to care for the poor, marginal, migrants, and refugees.
He said he believes the Pope will provide continuity that Pope Francis had with a similar attitude, also adding that this selection will be great for the church and will challenge it to grow in new directions.
Particularly in North America and to some degree in Western Europe, Christians tend to view their faith through a political lens, whether it's a left lens or a right lens, a blue lens or a red lens. I would expect that this Pope will directly challenge that American tendency.
Bishop Tyson believes the new Pope will be a uniter, anchoring poverty and justice initiatives back into the church and more deeply into their Catholic social teachings.
Bishop Joseph Tyson will be celebrating a massive Thanksgiving for Pope Leo this weekend. There are 2 options, one on Sunday, May 11th at 11 a.m. And in English celebration will be held at that time.
And at 1 p.m., a Spanish celebration will take place. And this, of course, is at St. Paul Cathedral on 15 South 12th Avenue in Yakima.
And for those wondering, he is a White Sox fan. Takes the Sox over the Cubs.
And coming up right after the break, we'll have more from Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. We'll have a full look at your weather forecast, and you'll want to know what's going on for Mother's Day weekend, so keep it right here. And there's still plenty more ahead right here on Good Morning Northwest. We'll see you right after the break.
Local Ford dealer. In an instant, your world can shatter. At Quantum Legal, we understand injuries can be an immense burden, taking a toll on your body and leaving you drowning in medical expenses. Battling insurance companies without legal representation will make matters worse. We are committed to advocating for your deserved compensation. Quantum Legal, where compassion meets justice.
Welcome to the Flower Bar, where every bouquet tells your unique story. Our talented designers craft personalized masterpieces from the freshest seasonal blooms, ensuring no two arrangements are ever alike. Whether you're building your own creation or choosing from our designer collections, we'll bring your floral vision to life. Visit our new location in Richland and discover a truly bespoke flower experience. Start your floral journey at the Flower Bar on theparkway.com.
Vision loss is not something that you feel until it happens.
Most people lose their vision from diseases like macular degeneration and glaucoma, not at birth.
3 million Americans have glaucoma, and half don't even know it.
11 million people in the United States have macular degeneration.
So many eye disorders can be treated if caught early.
Make a plan today to get your eyes checked.
Visit brightfocus.org to learn more.
Hey everyone, I'm here at Howard Amon Park, where on May 31st, Apple Valley News Now welcomes the 36th annual Tri-Cities Great Strides. It's a community walk supporting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and every step helps raise awareness for those living with this terrible disease. Make your Saturday meaningful by joining me in support of this vital cause. Everyone is invited. Together we can make CF stand for Cure Found. Register today at cff.org. I'll see you there. Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In spite of there being more clouds up in the sky for today, it's going to be partly cloudy across the map. Will actually be warmer compared to yesterday by a good deal. Will be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for May 9th, which means 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, 60s and 70s up in the Blue Mountains. Wind's going to be mostly light for today, although peak gusts could be out of the north and east between 15 to 20 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies at this point. There's going to be a non-zero chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Blues, but it should be mostly dry. Overnight lows pretty mild, 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s in the Blues. Now for tomorrow, winds are going to be a lot more noticeable out there, mostly gusting out of the west or northwest, peak gust up around 40 miles per hour for places like Salinas Pass, the Kittitas Valley, and the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So yeah, a little bit breezy / windy out there, and we'll have much more to say about the winds coming up in just a second. But all that being said, tomorrow should be another mostly dry day. Could maybe have another shower or thunderstorm in the Blues. But Sunday through Tuesday, that's when shower and thunderstorm chances become a lot more widespread, with specific emphasis on Mother's Day and Monday. Here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting from 11 a.m. on Mother's Day through 5 in the morning on Tuesday. Not much doing at all for the Cascades, valleys, or basin, but between 0.1 to 0.2 inches of rainfall possible for the Blue Foothills, 0.3 to 0.4 for the Blue Mountains. Now into Tuesday, at this point, we're going to be much drier, but the winds are going to be much stronger. Now peak gusts out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, and they could trend even stronger as we head into Wednesday, so we'll have a lot more to say about that forecast over the coming days. High temperatures, like I mentioned, above average for today. We'll have more of the same for Saturday. Then that storm system going to drop us back down to more seasonal high temperatures for Sunday and throughout much of next week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and very warm for Friday and Saturday, then cooler with small shower chances Sunday through Tuesday, perhaps even a thunderstorm possible on Mother's Day. In Yakima, much cooler by Sunday with small shower and thunderstorm chances Sunday through Tuesday, drier by Wednesday. In Ellensburg, windy weather essentially for Saturday and beyond, with the strongest winds likely being reserved for Tuesday and Wednesday. Then in Hermiston, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day and Monday, drier and trending slightly warmer for Tuesday and beyond. Then for Walla Walla, very warm and dry today and tomorrow, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day, Monday and Tuesday.
They're one of the most iconic rock bands of all time, and now The Who is saying goodbye. Coming up, details on their newly announced farewell tour and where you might catch them one last time. It's 6:20. We're back after the break.
With McValue at McDonald's, you'll get deals on drinks whenever you hit your afternoon slump.
We've got your pick-me-up covered because medium drinks are now $2.29. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Imagine waking up actually rested because last night you slept on the new Cube mattress found exclusively at Walker's Furniture. Cube isn't just a mattress, it's a sleep revolution. The Gel Cube technology supports your body exactly where you need it. With airflow enhancing cubes, premium memory foam, and natural latex, Cube delivers a deeper, longer, more refreshing sleep. And this month, you can enter to win a new Cube mattress from Walker's.
The Pacific Clinic is a health, sports, and medical campus in Kennewick now accepting new patients for primary care. We offer patient-specific solutions for physical, mental, and emotional health concerns. You'll receive quality one-on-one time with our medical professionals and experienced support team. Begin your new health plan with today's best technologies and facilities for the whole family. Play hard, live well at the PC. Call us at 509-783-5465 today.
Right now, save big at Meredith Furniture. Buy one recliner and get the second one free, with recliners on sale as low as $5.99 and the second one free. Choose from many different styles and colors. Come into the store for more details. Prices like this won't last forever. Relax in comfort with not just one, but two recliners. That's right. You don't want to miss this buy one, get one free event at Meredith Furniture while supplies last. Meredith Furniture on South First and Washington, right next to Hobby Lobby.
On behalf of STCU, we want to present you with this $1,000 check. Sherelle Woods founded Love and Me 911 back in 2022. She became inspired to create a nonprofit that focuses on promoting body positivity and self-love.
So I called a couple of friends and I said, you know, I want to turn something that was meant for negative, I want to turn it into something positive.
STCU honors volunteers in our community. To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
When you say let's go to breakfast, you mean let's go to McDonald's. Obviously.
Get the morning going when you buy one breakfast sandwich and get another one for $1.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back, everyone. In your entertainment headlines this morning, actress Blake Lively is expected to take the stand when her case against Justin Baldoni goes to trial next year, and that's according to a statement from her attorneys.
Haven't heard much about this for a minute, but it's back. Lively is accusing Baldoni and his production company of sexual harassment and retaliation. Baldoni sued Lively and her husband Ryle Reynolds for defamation. The two actors worked together on the film It Ends With Us, with Baldoni also directing the film.
Lively's attorneys say other people will be also testifying to support her claims. However, the attorneys stopped short of confirming whether Reynolds will be among those who will testify.
All right, a story that never ends.
Doesn't end.
Yeah. In more entertainment headlines this morning, country music star Zach Bryan is buying an old church in Massachusetts, all to honor the legacy of a famous American novelist and Massachusetts native.
So years ago, the historic former St. John Jean Baptist Church was set to become the home of the future Jack Kerouac Center, but funding issues delayed the project.
With Bryan's purchase, the church, which was the site of Kerouac's funeral mass in 1969, is set to be turned into a vibrant cultural hub. Once complete, the 20,000 square foot space will host exhibits, live music, public readings, and other community events.
That is a really cool space. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, after more than 6 decades of rock history, The Who is taking its final bow.
Yeah, legendary rockers are announcing that their farewell tour will hit North America, aptly titled The Song Is Over. And it kicks off August 16th outside of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The 16-date tour will hit major cities like Boston, Toronto, Philly, and Seattle.
The tour will wrap in Las Vegas in late September. Tickets are on sale starting May 16th, with pre-sales starting May 13th.
All right. Well, did you know that before settling on the name The Who, the band actually considered the names No One, The Group, and The Hair?
Huh. Well, actually, after hearing all those, The Who is way better. Yeah, I'm glad.
I think of that clip with Snoop Dogg going, "Who? Who? The Who?" But all respect to The Who. Love them.
And Snoop Dogg. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The community has spoken as over 2,000 people answered a survey that aims to highlight what matters the most to the people of Yakima. We have the results and we'll break them down for you after the break.
Plus, a popular park in the Tri-Cities has been revamped and it's now open just in time for summer. We have all those stories and more coming up in your next half hour.
Imagine waking up actually rested because last night you slept on the new Cube mattress found exclusively at Walker's Furniture. Cube isn't just a mattress, it's a sleep revolution. The Gel Cube technology supports your body exactly where you need it. With airflow enhancing cubes, premium memory foam, and natural latex, Cube delivers a deeper, longer, more refreshing sleep. And this month, you can enter to win a new Cube mattress from Walker's.
Local Ford dealer.
For over 49 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today at our brand new location on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Floor scuffs, tears, and nasty scratches. Forget them for good with Ruby Sliders, the chair leg covers that stretch to fit most chairs and make floor marks a thing of the past. Slide it here, slide it there, slide it anywhere. Just slip them on and keep your floors looking like new. They fit any size or shape furniture leg and glide effortlessly. Forget flimsy felt pads and caps that don't fit. Just stretch it on and slide it. Call or click now to get Ruby Sliders for as low as 99 cents with free shipping.
Check out the Ellensburg Bowl. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Friday morning, and thanks for waking up with us and joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, we gave this to you last hour, but we're going to do it again. It is your little trophy because why?
because I had a little 20-day streak for the 3-degree guarantee. So yes, that means that the jackpot's now up to $500. So thank you to y'all, and thank you to our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we got there. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 73 in Pasco Tri-Cities and a verified right at 73. So that's a good way to get to 500. So here are the stakes for today. I'm going with a much toastier. I believe it's, I went with 83 in Pasco Tri-Cities for today. So if it verifies between 80 to 86, the jackpot's going to go up to $525. If that doesn't happen, the big old jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a live, beautiful look at the Yakima Valley. This view coming courtesy of BIMAR. Already seeing more clouds up in the sky for this morning, and that's going to be the trend throughout the day. It will be partly cloudy, but in spite of that, warmer compared to yesterday. Right now, temperatures in the 30s and 40s for the lower elevations, 30s up in the Cascades, 30s and 40s for the Blues. Could be a little bit frosty towards White Pass and also down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Already going to be up into the low 70s by lunchtime and then up into the 80s at the peak of daytime heating. So we'll end up being about 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means upper 70s in the Kittitas Valley, low to mid 80s for the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and for the Blue Foothills. We'll have a similar forecast for tomorrow, then we'll definitely shake things up as we head into this weekend. We trend cooler and wetter, so I'll talk about that. Also, I'll take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. We begin your 6:30 half hour of news out of Yakima, where we now know the results of what Yakima people and living there care most about. It all comes after a survey was done on overall engagement. They talked to 2,000 people who completed the survey, and as far as the top priorities were stated for the city, support for police topped the list with 40%. Street maintenance and infrastructure was at 26%. Parks, pools, community centers, and sports programs came in at 25%, and on the low end was fire at just 9%. City Manager Vicki Baker also touched on responses from the many town halls that the city hosted over the last several weeks.
The emerging themes there were completely different again. This time we heard a lot of excitement about economic development and growing our way out of the situation that we find ourselves in. And lots of questions about when can we get an In-N-Out burger and a Chick-fil-A. It was lots of fun.
I love that, and I think those are very valid questions.
All things I care about.
All things, right? So regarding the budget survey, people wanted to eliminate lobbying and council travel while also getting rid of funding for fireworks and reducing funding for the Windows Alive program. Council members say they will now take all of this into consideration.
Heading to Kennewick now, where a popular playground was revamped and it's now back open. So take a look at this. This was Lawrence Scott Park Playground before the upgrades. Crews closed the park in February to make it ADA accessible. And now taking a look at the finished product, Kennewick's Parks and Rec posted these pictures up on your screen now, saying it's also their only fenced-in playground. The park is in West Kennewick near Canal Drive and Kellogg Street by the softball fields.
Heading to Oregon now, where scammers are once again targeting residents by posing as the Oregon Department of Motor Vehicles and the Oregon Department of Transportation. It's a new round of fraudulent text and email messages.
Now, these messages falsely claim that recipients owe unpaid toll fees. They then threaten vehicle suspension, legal action, and credit damage. ODOT officials clarified the department does not operate a toll program, and these messages are designed to trick people into clicking on links and providing personal information or sending over money. The Oregon DMV emphasized that it will never request personal information through unsolicited texts or emails, so keep that in mind.
Well, today wraps up National Travel and Tourism Week, and Visit Tri-Cities says 2024 was an extremely successful year here.
That's right. According to Tourism Economics, 4 million visitors came to the Tri-Cities, and visitors spent over $640 million in Benton and Franklin counties. And last year, with annual spending increasing 2.2% over 2023, that spending generated nearly $80 million in state and local taxes.
In addition, Kevin Lewis, the president and CEO of Visit Tri-Cities, says there was an 86% increase in the number of events that were booked here as well. He says, though, that they are not just focused on growing numbers, but growing impact.
We love to see it. And if you're looking for something fun this Mother's Day weekend, coming up, we have everything from farmers markets to tea parties, a roundup of all family-friendly events that are happening right here in our community, and we have all those details right after the break.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
The Memorial Day Super Sale is on now at Furniture Row. Shop top brands like Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Fork Holder Amish, and save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus, get 60 months no interest. The Memorial Day Super Sale on now at Furniture Row.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Here at the clinic, we offer our medical weight loss program. Diabetes, and more broadly, insulin resistance, is a highly inflammatory state that increases our risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, as well as Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases.
Basically, it's the lack of awareness about what's creating that weight. There's lots of psychological aspects to that, so that where you come to is to a more centered place of feeling good and connected and positive about yourself, self-confidence.
You have access to over 100 weekly group fitness classes, top-notch fitness facilities, cutting-edge scientific therapies integrated into your program, and dedicated coaches rooting for your success. We also offer options for pharmaceutical assistance. We create patient-specific game plans centered around the 7 essential elements, which are sleep, nutrition, atmosphere, breathing, movement, thought, and purpose.
So rather than just focus, it's not dieting, and it's not focused on dieting, and that's not what we do here at Pacific Clinic. It's mind, body, physical, emotional, mental, and the combination of all of those things. And I think that makes us tremendously different than any of the other programs out there.
To get started, call 509-783-5465 and schedule an appointment with a client advocate today.
Fiction at J. Bookwalter presents the Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Live music in the best company, friends, food, and spirit at Fiction at J. Bookwalter now through October. Check our concert series lineup and times by going to bookwalterwines.com under the Shop tab or use our QR code here. The Chapter 2 Hospitality 2025 Concert Series. Proceeds benefiting the Children's Hospital and WSU.
It's the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Shop Tempur-Pedic, Sealy, Purple, or save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Get 30% off our Doctor's Choice lineup, plus 60 months no interest and free shipping. The Memorial Day Super Sale on now at Denver Mattress.
It's a small city with a big history with one very unique house.
They're local artists and they have transformed their home.
Ellensburg on Fly the Northwest.
It's one of the stops that you have to see when you're in Ellensburg.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Here comes the judge.
Court come to order. All rise.
Judy rules the courtroom.
Hey, I would keep my mouth shut.
It's your daily moment of truth.
What an idiot.
Judy Justice.
In front of millions of people.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to end up being a partly cloudy day across the map, but in spite of that, we're actually going to be warmer. We'll be up around 70 for Snoqualmie Pass, up around 80 in the Kittitas Valley. Then in the Yakima Valley, we'll have low 80s, and then for the lower Columbia Basin, low to mid 80s. Could still have some mid to upper 70s down towards Boardman in northern Morrow County. Then for the Blue Foothills, mid-70s in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, low to mid-80s in the Blue Foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla counties. Will be in the 60s and 70s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Could be a little bit breezy in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Some of those peak gusts out of the north and east peaking around 15 to 20 miles per hour. But for the rest of us, we should have pretty calm winds overall. Now let's talk about the big picture, the seasonal snowpack deficits and surpluses we're tracking in both the Cascades and the Blues. So first, we start off with the Cascades. All the major basins in the Cascades, the upper Yakima, the lower Yakima, and the Naches, all really suffering as we have big-time deficits in regards to our snowpack up in the Cascades, specifically for the upper Yakima and lower Yakima basins. And then in the Blue Mountains, it's one big combined basin between the Umatilla, Walla Walla, and Willow rivers. And if you combine it all together, do a little bit of math, the snowpack deficit here is definitely more subtle as opposed to the Cascades, but still running a 10% deficit.
All right, 6:39 now, and as we head into Mother's Day weekend, it sounds like it's going to be a beautiful one, and there's a lot of fun things to do around the Tri-Cities area.
That's right. Whether you're planning a family outing, looking to pick up the perfect gift, or just want to spend some quality time with your mom, we have a list of everything.
So this morning, we're taking a look at the local events and celebrations happening all weekend long.
So starting off, if you're looking for that perfect gift that says, "I love you, Mom," you might be able to find it at the Pasco Farmers Market.
So starting this Saturday, you'll find local produce, fresh flowers, baked goods, and handcrafted items. And this does take place every weekend at Peanuts Park in downtown Pasco.
The market runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday through October. And it's more than just shopping. There will be live music and community events.
Yeah, it's so fun down there. So grab your shopping bag and your mom and head out to 426 West Lewis Street this weekend and get some shopping done.
And well, maybe mom is an animal lover and is in need of a furry friend. If so, you're in luck because Kennewick and Richland police officers are joining forces to host its annual Fur Babies and the Fuzz adoption event.
The event is Saturday at the Tri-Cities Animal Services, and they're showing off the cutest, most lovable pups from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at their Pasco shelter.
Adoption fees are just $50, and every pet is spayed or neutered, vaccinated, and microchipped. Families can also meet local officers, tour the shelter, and enjoy kid-friendly activities.
I'm obsessed with those pictures.
These pictures are
with
really
all
selling
the
it for
flowers
me.
around them. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Very photo-esque. And if mom is looking for something magical and meaningful to do this weekend, CG Public House has the event just for that.
It's called If Teacups Could Talk, a charming tea party perfect for families and friends to get together, dress up, and enjoy a little whimsy for a great cause.
And the event also takes place Saturday from 11 to 1 at CG Public House at the Event Center. Tickets are $30 for adults and $12.50 for kids 12 and under, with all proceeds going to domestic violence services of Benton and Franklin counties.
There will be sweets, snacks, dress-up fun for the little ones, story time, photo ops, and more.
Yeah, they actually encourage your little ones to dress up as their favorite princesses.
Oh, how cute.
I know. Or, I mean, you don't have to be little to do that. You can do that if you want. Yeah, do whatever you want. It all supports local families in need of a fresh spot, start.
And spots are limited, so be sure you reserve your seat today.
That'd be so much fun.
That sounds fun.
I know.
And I'll show up as Snow White.
I was going to say, who's your favorite princess?
I love it.
All right, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we have your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door on this Friday morning, and giving you a live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back after the break with your full first alert forecast. It's 6:42.
All right, everybody. I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers? Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
I was a resident here. Think of me as one of you.
You're unbelievable. So unbelievable.
Prosser Memorial Health reminds you, watch Grey's Anatomy Thursdays. Prosser Memorial Health, this is how we care.
Lifetime Dental is committed to providing the best dental care in the Tri-Cities by treating patients like family, as well as providing a healthy work-life balance for the team. Hear what their doctors have to say.
I think developing that relationship with a patient is where you get the trust. And then with the trust is when you can really kind of build on these treatment plans and provide the best care for them so that the outcome is most predictable and that they're the most satisfied. I think my passion kind of more stems from the problem-solving aspect of dentistry. So I really like getting complex patients that need a lot of different needs and kind of figuring out a plan that incorporates like good dentistry to kind of solve their problems. But I think I just get that emotional recharge from just kind of spending quality time with family. So my 2 girls and then my wife. So we try and get out of the house and get up in the mountains or go to the beach and just kind of do quality things together. And that's kind of where I get my most recharge from, for sure.
Lifetime Dental Care, located at Queensgate, voted best dentist in the Tri-Cities 9 times.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
Hello there, watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to feature more clouds as opposed to yesterday, partly cloudy skies across the map. But despite that, we're actually going to be a good deal warmer as opposed to yesterday. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer than normal, which means 70s and 80s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, 60s and 70s up in the Blues. Winds are going to be pretty light for the most part, although could be a little bit breezy in the Blue Foothills. We'll have a lot more to say about the winds coming up here in a second. For tonight, mostly cloudy skies. At this point, there's going to be a non-zero chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the Blue Mountains, but most of us should be dry. Overnight lows pretty mild with 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the Cascades, and 40s and 50s up in the Blue Mountains. For Saturday, winds going to be a lot more noticeable, mostly shifting out of the north and west. Peak gust up around 40 miles per hour for places like Salinas Pass, the Kittitas Valley, and the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. That time frame pretty broad, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and yet again, we'll have more to say about the winds coming up here in just a second. Now for Saturday, a mostly dry day. Can't rule out another shower and thunderstorm in the Blues, but shower and thunderstorm chances become a whole lot more widespread from Sunday through Tuesday, with specific emphasis on Sunday and Monday. So from 11 a.m. on Mother's Day to 5 in the morning on Tuesday, we're thinking, well, not much rainfall at all for the Cascades, Valleys, or Basin, but between 0.1 to 0.2 inches in the Blue Foothills and between 0.3 to 0.4 up in the Blue Mountains. Now the winds, so for Tuesday will be much drier, but at this point winds going to become a much bigger factor as once again mostly out of the north and west. Peak gusts around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Looks like the gusts could trend even stronger for Wednesday, so we'll have a lot more to say about that over the coming days. High temperatures still about 10-ish degrees warmer than normal for Saturday. Then the storm system is going to bring us back down to earth. We'll have pretty seasonal high temperatures for Sunday through Thursday. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and very warm for Friday and Saturday, then cooler with small shower chances Sunday through Tuesday, perhaps even a thunderstorm possible on Mother's Day. In Yakima, much cooler by Sunday with small shower and thunderstorm chances Sunday through Tuesday, drier by Wednesday. In Ellensburg, windy weather essentially for Saturday and beyond, with the strongest winds likely being reserved for Tuesday and Wednesday. In Hermiston, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day and Monday, drier and trending slightly warmer for Tuesday and beyond. Then for Walla Walla, very warm and dry today and tomorrow, rain likely and much cooler for Mother's Day, Monday, and Tuesday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, dramatic new testimony in the Karen Reed murder trial.
She was asked about the damage to her rear taillight, to which she stated, quote, "I don't know how I did it last night."
Massachusetts State Police Sergeant Yuri Buchanan, the supervisor in charge of the investigation into John O'Keefe's death, testified that he and Trooper Michael Proctor were the first police to question Karen Reed about the death of her police officer boyfriend. During cross-examination, Buchanan coming under fire from the defense for his handling of key pieces of evidence collected at the scene.
So for 6 days, anybody who had access to that room could have handled that clothing in any way they wanted to.
That's correct.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you what's next in the Karen Reed murder trial. With your GMA First Look, I'm Matt Gutman, ABC News.
Before taking Breztri for my COPD, I had bad days. Days ruined by flare-ups that could permanently damage my lungs. Then, I talked to my doctor about Breztri, and I noticed things changed. Breztri gave me better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, my lung function improved. Breztri also helped improve my symptoms and was even proven to reduce flare-ups, including those that could send me to the hospital. Now, I worry less about bad days and enjoy more good days.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Ask your doctor about Breztri for COPD.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:50. It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off with your national headlines. The president's eldest daughter made a rare public appearance yesterday since leaving politics back in 2021. Ivanka Trump appeared at the Heartland Summit in Arkansas, her first major appearance since the end of President Trump's first term. She promoted her private business venture called Planet Harvest, which aims to expand access to fresh produce.
An Igloo has expanded a recall of rolling coolers due to a safety hazard. Recall expansion involves about 130,000 additional Igloo 90-quart flip and tow rolling coolers that were manufactured before January of 2024. So the issue here is that the tow handle can pitch your fingertips against the cooler, posing possible fingertip amputation and crushing hazards. More than 1 million Igloo coolers were previously recalled in February. Consumers are advised to stop using the coolers and contact Igloo for a free replacement handle.
And new research shows that cinnamon could have adverse interactions with some prescription medicine. Researchers are warning against taking too many substances that contain cinnamon because it could affect the metabolism of prescription drugs. They examined the primary active ingredient in cinnamon and how well it's absorbed when it's orally ingested. They found that it's rapidly metabolized into an acid that can affect drug metabolism.
6:52, talking sports this morning. Seattle Mariners will be defending their winning streak as they face off against the Toronto Blue Jays. First pitch set for 6:30 tonight. Following the Blue Jays, Seattle is set to play against the New York Yankees next week. 6:52, and now the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. We do have an update on last week's shooting in Kennewick near Clearwater and Edison. Police say a 16-year-old boy is now in custody. The criminal apprehension team, along with the SWAT team and KPD detectives, served 2 search warrants on Thursday morning and arrested the teen without incident. He's now facing charges of first-degree assault and unlawful possession of a firearm.
People in the Hiawatha homeless camp have all been served eviction notices. The camp has become a problem area for local first responders. The Grant County Sheriff's Office, along with police from Colville Confederated Tribes, put the notices on over 50 recreation vehicles and trailers. They were notified that they would face criminal trespassing charges if they didn't leave by 10 a.m. yesterday.
We now know the results of overall engagement for the city of Yakima's survey. They asked residents what they care about most moving forward, and the city says over 2,000 people completed the survey. As far as top priorities for the city, support for police topped with 40%. Street maintenance and infrastructure was at 26%. And then on the low end, fire at just 9%.
Washington and Oregon senators say the Pacific Northwest just isn't ready for the fire season ahead. Senators Patty Murray and Jeff Merkley say the federal government has cut thousands of positions from the U.S. Forest Service, with more than 500 in Washington and Oregon alone. That includes many frontline firefighters, and on top of those cuts, they say a federal hiring freeze is putting this fire season at even more risk. And the group is calling on Congress and the Trump administration to restore funding for the agencies that help keep wildfires under control.
2 senior dogs at the Benton County Canine Shelter are in urgent need of a loving home, and they need it together. A 14-year-old Beagle mix, Leia, and an 11-year-old Chihuahua mix, Tootie, are deeply bonded, and separating them could harm their health. One of the dogs, Princess Leia, is currently undergoing cancer treatment and will need ongoing care. And with shelter construction underway, staff says that the situation is growing more urgent. If you're interested in adopting this sweet pair, you can visit the shelter on North Grant Place in Kennewick. All right, 6:54. Before we send you off to enjoy a beautiful Mother's Day weekend, we have a little cuteness overload for you.
That's right. The San Diego Zoo released a video of the African elephants romping in the water, having a trunk load of fun. And the zoo says the whole thing lasted about 35 minutes.
Hey,
Oh, how
guys.
cute.
That is a romp if I've ever seen one. Well, elephants use their trunks as a snorkel and hold their breath underwater. Elephants even like to climb on each other in the water and playfully trumpet.
After a good swim, elephants immediately take a dust bath. The zoo says it's all a part of their self-maintenance and good skincare.
Ooh, look at them practicing skincare.
I
They're so
love
prim
it.
and proper.
Aren't
I love
they,
it.
though,
And
those
they think humans are
elephants?
cute. So I love elephants.
That was fun to watch.
And the noise they make, is it called trumpeting?
Yeah.
I think so.
I didn't know there was a name for that. So cool.
Yeah, there
More
you go.
know.
The more you know. And the more we know about the weather, the better prepared we can be for Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of going to be a Jekyll and Hyde setup. Like Saturday is going to be pretty nice. Sunday, Mother's Day, the main day, going to be a little bit more tricky as we'll have some showers and thunderstorms rolling in. Also, looks as if we'll be a good deal cooler by then. But for right now, 30s and 40s for lower elevations, 30s up in the Cascades, 30s, 40s, and 50s already in the Blues. Could be a little bit frosty off of I-84 down towards Cabbage Hill or Meacham. A little bit later today, will be about 10 degrees warmer than normal for the 9th of May. That means upper 70s in the Kittitas Valley, low to mid 80s for the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills. We're going to be partly cloudy across the map for today. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Dry and warmer for today and tomorrow, then shower and thunderstorm chances going up. High temperatures going down for Sunday through Tuesday. Will turn very windy for both Tuesday and Wednesday in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley for Tuesday. Looks like they could trend a little bit stronger as we head into Wednesday. So more winds. That's just really been par for the course over the past month. And this is also going to do a number to our high temperatures as we'll be back down into the low to mid 70s all throughout next week.
And Josh, because you got, 20 days in a row for your 3-degree guarantee, we just wanted to celebrate. I think I broke mine. Oh, God. Oh, there we go. Okay, a little bit. So congrats. And your little
flattered.
award is somewhere.
I was getting a little nervous. I heard something
rustling,
going on
if
over
you
here.
heard that was us trying to
over
open it.
here.
Sorry
no,
about
but
that.
we're so excited for your 3-degree guarantee.
Thank you.
And I mean, for
It's still
whoever's
going.
going to be the
Yeah.
next winner.
Whoever's
Could be
gonna get
1,000.
that
Yeah,
nice
Cash with
jackpot.
Cobra.
So, thank you. Y'all made me feel really special this morning. Thank
You
you.
did great.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. It's applevalley.newsnow.com.
Good Morning America is up next. We'll be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5.
Have a great day.
We know Josh will.
And